and you know my Facebook will come up and start doing something crazy. If you're on Facebook and my Facebook is loading, and it will just start saying what I'm saying before I have to just mute it. I have still not discovered that, but I figured out thanks to Francis being here, because I always call her my pillar. I had the courage to figure it out why the echo happened. It was very silly. And anybody who's dealing with it, let me give you the solution. There's something called echo cancellation button, which was not ticked. So silly, I know. 8 mothers, I've just worn those things. Everybody, good evening. Jenny is here to support us. Thank you, Jenny, because I was wondering if Francis is the first one to support us and say hi. Francis is here. What are we going to do? But before Francis, we do your interview, and Jenny, you will love this as well. This is a beautiful paragraph. I was reading a book today after a long time, and there's a beautiful paragraph which goes apt with our mission. Okay, and I'm just going to read that. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that our other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Isn't that beautiful, Francis? I'm still getting goosebumps. I've read it since morning so many times that it's my clue, a great reminder. Thank you sharing that. Jenny said, you know, this para, I'm reading it again and again and again, because as I mentioned in my last 3-4 days, somehow maybe post celebration, it was that, when you reach one point and suddenly you're trying to control your energy and then it go pop down. It happened to me, and my son is here. Sorry, I'll have to.
You might be using the iPad.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh.
Thank you so much. And can we
Then
give
where
us
is
space?
it?
Can you shut the door, sweetheart?
Okay.
Thank you.
I thought you had the iPad.
No, I don't. So sorry. And so I was just feeling this like energy, and I was pretty low with cold, etc. coming on, and I just thought that probably for a very long time I was trying to take in a lot of energy without realizing it, and then I went, and then I said in that interview, clues come in, right? Even in the morning I was feeling totally horrible, absolutely gone. And then this clue came in, and I kept on reading, and I kept on reading, and I kept on reading, and it's uplifted me totally. So I always say, when you are on a mission, there will be a clue. This book has been with me for ages. I don't know why I picked it up today. I've not even read a book for almost 4 months, 5 months, and I just picked it up, and I straight away went to the last chapter somehow, and it was the second page of the last chapter. I didn't even read from the starting. So the clues will come. We are meant to shine. That's what this book just said. And when we shine, we liberate ourselves. But with our liberation, we liberate a lot of people. So that's what this mission is doing. It's making everybody shine because we are meant to shine. So that's about it. I really wanted to share that. Francis, welcome. Francis is a family coach. She's a big supporter of this movement. She is just like, I'm telling you, I feel that Francis has been with me through all 25 interviews more than anybody else, chatting up, cheering up everybody in the comments. And it's a total pleasure to have Francis today for interview.
Thank you.
Francis,
Thank you.
Welcome. Francis,
good morning. Thank you.
Yeah. So why don't you introduce yourself? Why don't you introduce yourself, all about you till your journey till here, where you reached today. And then maybe we'll talk about a little bit about you being a mother. So then I'll not interrupt.
Okay. Well, my name is Francis, and your son came in, but my son is taking a bath, so you may hear some singing and some different things like that in the background. But yeah, I became a mother about in 2017 through adoption. I was 47, so that's how I became a mother. But before that, I worked in early intervention and with children from birth to 3 since 1992. So I've gone through many journeys of working with families, helping them. The program I worked in is family centered. So not only did I help families with directly with their child and child development, but if they needed other things too, whether it be going back to school to better themselves, because the thought process is if you better yourself, you better the life of your child. There may have been some issues that families were going through, so helping them connect with the right resources as well. So I have been also been godmother to many children. Oh gosh, one is going off to college for as a sophomore today. One started his senior year. One recently got married. Gosh, they so yeah. So I've been godmother, and I am aunt to my nephews that are twins, and they are in the military. So I've been around children, and so when I became a mother, I thought, oh, no problem. This will be easy because I've helped all my friends and my family. Surprise, you can't just give kids back once you you gotta stick through it all. So I met Jaden, my son, in 2015. He was in the program that I was working with, and so I did not know at that time that he was going to be my son. He was in foster care, and things just transpired. And I remember one day I was talking to my supervisor about when his adoption with the foster family would be complete, and she said that they changed their minds. And from this point to this point, I walked over and called the social services that was handling this case, and I was like, I want to adopt. So started the process. So yeah.
Wow. And I like the fact that you've been moms to so many kids already, because I mean, it takes a beautiful heart to keep extending it with more and more and more kids who need it. And I absolutely see that in you, Francis. I absolutely see that beautiful, beautiful heart and the kind heart that you have. And the more I'm knowing you, the more like I'm just totally falling in love with your kindness and your just this beautiful heart. And now, you know, we're going to move on to us talking about it, because I think you are totally inside this project, being one of the pillars here. And before I go to this question, I always say that I want to announce the pillars, and I like keep forgetting it. So I will announce my 5 pillars right now. It's
Okay.
Devi, and we have Francis, we have Kavita, we have Kitana Ramarapu, and we have Francis. These 5 are supporting me right here with this movement. In spite of being in different parts of the world, it seems we are too close, working too closely together and making this dream come true. So thank you so much to all 5 of you. Now, to just say that, you're so deeply into this project, one, from supporters' point of view, even when you were not a pillar. Now that you're talking to more moms, and now you're seeing, we are, somebody agrees or disagrees, we are still seeing the resistance coming you know, in submissions, and, people can keep saying that we don't have time. In spite of being interviewed, we all saying, but the resistance sister is absolutely speaking onto our head right now. In spite of we being interviewed, we've still not stepped in to say, here's my portrait and that's my story. And it keeps happening to us. We will find an excuse to not do this. So what do you think? I like to ask this question: what do you think is happening? And we've heard it again and again, but there are new people watching it, and there are including you, including me, all of us will find an excuse to not reach the finish line, because we need to liberate ourselves from this whole chatter that happens and puts us down. Why do you think it's happening?
Well, I think with this one, it's the fact that it's going to be written and put into a book that we want to make sure that it's right. I know that with me, I've got notes all over the place of what I things that I feel like describe me and what I'm going to be putting into my write-up. But it's also that it's not the perfection of wanting to get it perfect. It's as far as how it looks, but how it sounds, because this will be immortalized in a book. And as of our journey right now, and our journey will change. And I think that's what we need to realize as the 100 women in the self-portrait, is that today is our journey, but as anything, there's evolution and there's change. So we just need to capture what's going on right now, do the best we can, and then keep going. So I think that's it, is that fear of what I write down now, does it reflect me? So I think that's a lot of what it is too. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's the chatter again. If we agree or we don't agree, that's the chatter, because that's the chatter will come up and say, I don't think so you've reached there, and that's a resistance, because you, it's good to start moving step by step and keep changing. But I don't know, like I'm a very absolutely energy sensitive right now. I absolutely feel that I'm putting these 100 moms right into the spotlight, and now the fear is like on a very high this thing. Oh my god, people are going to read about my story. And I keep saying that we live a lot of stories. We live
Yeah.
a lot of stories, and we have a lot of stories, but we just have to take out that one story, and that can change by the time the book comes out. But we need to take it out and put it out there, and then later, maybe after 20 says, I have another really good one. But that is different from saying, what will people think? Am I doing the right thing by putting this particular story up there? That's the chatter. That's the resistance. And it's going to keep happening. And I am taking this liberty because you're one of the pillars to discuss it very openly. That chatter does come back in spite of the fact we stand up and say, okay, I'm one of the moms, I'm in the spotlight. It will keep coming back. And we just keep we have to just say, settle down. Let's start the first. Let's send the first picture. Let's see where it aligns, what it evokes, what is the thing, because we have a beautiful community coming up. And that's the only thing that I'm realizing. Of course, every step is a realization. Then, my God, this chatter is so strong. It
It
will
is.
keep stopping us from doing and shining.
Well, because a lot of times, even though we are helping other people, and we don't put ourselves out there. What you're asking us to do is put ourselves out there in front in this picture and this write-up. And if you ask us to choose a female or a mom and write about them and take a picture of them, it would have been done just like that. But it's because of the fact that the spotlight is on us. And that is hard, So I love what you said the other day when you sent out you sent out a message about your journey. And that's what I had to know what my journey is, and my journey is family, the importance of family. So that's what I want my picture to reflect. So in my mind, I'm seeing images of what I want to do and things like that. But it was you having to, when you said about it's your journey, what is your journey? And I know what my journey is, what I want to get to in the end and what I want to focus on. So that really helped a lot. It's I always quote this group In Vogue: free your mind and the rest will follow. A lot of times we need to free our minds and stop the chatter and just let it go and do what we know we need to do. And it's hard because, again, we're putting ourselves in a spotlight, which we usually don't do. We're behind the scenes making things happen. And now you're saying, get out front, let people see you to help other women know they can do it. And so it's breaking a lot of barriers of expectations of ourselves. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think this question is coming to a lot of mothers, and believe me, I'm like, okay, this is my next mom, and my husband's like, why is she in your book? Like, what has she done? Like, she's just a mom, and I am aligned with her. But what has she done? Nothing. Not every mom has to be a typical achiever into this book. She's a mom. She has a heart of a mother. She's doing what she is, and so some moms here I'm going to just place them because I think that they deserve the light, and this will take them ahead. So this will become their carrier to go ahead into the journey. Some moms have already taken the journey. They will become inspiration to these moms and many other moms and take their journey further. So like this book is nothing to do, there is no criteria that you have to be this mom or that mom. You're a mom, and there's something about you that, I am aligned, like I'm aligned with, and I'm feeling it, and then you will be there, like you or any, like I mean any mom. And that's what my, like I've been asked many times, and and moms themselves are wondering, why have you chosen me, like.
I was guilty of that because when as you know, I came on as a cheerleader. And as I saw these wonderful women and the things they were doing, and then when you said that you wanted me to be a pillar, oh, no problem. I can do that because I'm a natural cheerleader. I want to support. That was no problem. That pillar should probably be my middle name. So that was no problem. But when you started talking about, I think I want you in the book, and I was like, what? Because I saw all of these other women doing amazing things. And I'm like, I'm a mom, yes, but what am I doing? And so that was something that I had to get out of my mind as well. That, like I said, I was comfortable with the pillar part. I was like, oh, that's no problem. But when you said about being in the book, I was like, no, pillar is good, pillar is good. But it was I had to realize that, just like what you said, it's not how big you show up. It's the fact that you show up. So what you do, everybody does something differently. I equated to I was talking to a group before, and I was talking about a bonsai tree that was an apple tree. It produced apples just like a regular tree produced apples. It doesn't matter your size,
Yeah.
you're still producing. So that's the importance of it all. So yeah.
And also, that the whole thing that mothers keep wondering, like do, like really, what is a life? But Francis, you haven't realized this, and I have not spoken to you about mom. It's just my whole energy right now is picking up the right moms. You've already impacted 3 lives or 4 lives by being their godmothers and supporting them. I have supported some people in my past, and some kids who were totally lost with nervous breakdown, etc. And I've moved like with them, supporting them to reach a point. They're earning money. They're like they're buying cars, and in spite of the fact they're just 7 8 years younger than me, they call, like, send me happy Mother's Day card, because they feel that the support they got, and that's an impact. That's an impact that you've already made. So you don't need to make an impact in the newspaper, or you don't need to make an impact on your page. You don't need. And my heart knew that your kind of a heart, it's not possible, it's not going to make an impact, it's not possible. And I totally feel you deserve to be the pillar because of the support you give, but you also deserve to tell your story, because there's so many moms who are making, like, for me, your story right now is you being a godmother. You're saying the family thing, but even being a godmother to so many kids who are getting married, who are going to get back to you, who are going to call you, and you saved those lives from going down the paths that could have created chaos in their life, chaos in society, chaos in their extended people. So how many people have you saved by saving 3 or 4 lives like that? That's an impact, totally. And I totally, I absolutely honor you for that now. And as in when I'm doing interviews, I am seeing pictures, and I see your pictures with your, not only with Jaden, but with all of them around you.
Yeah.
Bring them on, hold their
Yeah.
hands, get that picture out, because that's you. And that's the story. And that's what I'm saying, that get these stories out. Because in spite of making so much impact, we still think we've done nothing. We still think that, oh my God, like life has just got wasted. We've reached 50 years, 55 years, 70 years, but life is just, but look at what you've done. And that itself needs to be celebrated. And that needs to be an inspiration in itself, because I know, one, what it takes to keep supporting somebody who's not immediate family, to take charge, and when they call you in the middle of the night, to say that, yes, this is what you need to do, and keep going. And it's amazing, it's beautiful, Francis. And this project is, I think the next 25 is going to be very, very intense, and that's where probably universe wanted me to be very muted. I am feeling geared up after what I read today, because my next clue came, and I picked up my next clue and said, this is what it is. So, like, you've seen so many interviews. What has touched you a lot about these interviews? Like, one thread that's going on and some interview that you remember that totally changed a lot of perspective about what you were thinking generally in life? How has it added to your life?
Well, I think I couldn't pick out one because they have all been impactful. But I think like the young lady that was an engineer, and now she is, now she is coaching other women that are engineers. I, look at taking your skills and knowledge and seeing, okay, I can help other people. You know, Kara, who's our coach and how we met, she's just, I like with Kara, I guess too, and behind the scenes, she is, it's okay to say, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change paths. She's not, she may have some reservations about it and things like that, but she's honest with it. And I think that's one of the things I really like about each woman too, is that you've got to come forward with your honesty of saying, I was doing this, but I decided this is not what works for me. Melanie, now that's queen. That's queen right there. You know, it's just, it's just that, everybody's voices are different, but their voices are important. That's what I really like. And then, you've got mother-daughter groups that are doing, it's just wonderful. And I had to fight the level of intimidation too, because you got lawyers, you've got engineers, you got people that are been doing things for most of their lives and things like that. But like you said, everybody's making an impact. And so that's what I love about it. So when I get on and I'm there to cheer people on, I'm also cheering myself on because I'm learning so much, and that it's just wonderful. I mean, when I get, and that sometimes the interviews are late at night for me, and sometimes in the morning, and you're like, Francis, go to bed. I'm like, no, I got to see this interview. So yeah. Yeah.
And that's the another thing that I think all of us, including me, probably keep mistaking, that somebody has achieved something, so they are doing big things, and we are not. Look at, like, how old are you, and how many people have you already impacted? You've been doing it forever. Like, you have been supporting these kids forever.
Yeah, actually,
How many
yeah.
years?
July 2nd, 1992 is when I started working in early intervention. So yeah, that
Almost 30
we're not,
years.
yeah, let's not talk about that. But anyway, so yeah,
Almost 30
so
years.
yeah,
Imagine.
so it's been a long time. And and I think about this a lot too. There've been, in that time frame, lots of kids that I've thought, that were in the foster system or something like that. I thought, oh, I'd like to adopt and things, but but with Jaden, everything was aligned. And also with me, there's so much growth you have to put into yourself to know when you're ready to do things. And I'm so glad that I've invested in myself as well, with the coaching, with counseling and things like that, to help me to grow. That's one of the things that we cannot be afraid, as not only moms and women, but as individuals, to invest in ourselves to grow. So that's yeah, but I've been doing this for almost 30 years. And yeah.
That's what we need to owe up to and say, oh my God, doesn't matter, lawyers, they all are achievers, and so are you. And that's precisely what I'm trying to say. And that's precisely, it's a leveled up stage for everyone. And it happened to me as well. When I was starting this, I was talking to my brother-in-law, and I was telling him, I was invited to a very big stage where Mamansa, I miss her totally. She was my first champion, and she's going through something, so she's missing right now, but she will come back. But I was telling my brother-in-law, I don't know why Mamansa is giving me this stage with so many people in Zimbabwe. I don't know what. I'm just too new to this world of online. I don't know whether I could do it. And she's like, "You're not new. Well, like, you've been doing it for 20 years. How many photography events, like how many families you've shot? You have headed a poetry movement for 12 years. You've headed a printing and design unit and worked for schools for almost 12 years. You've been teaching photography. You've been in a health space now. You've done so much. this is just another tool that you're using, but you have been doing it and impacting so many lives for almost 20 years. And that made me realize that, yeah, why am I behaving like this newbie who's come into the, world and said, yes, I actually know what I'm doing. And that gave me a lot of confidence, because I did realize that, yes, I know what I'm doing. So I think we keep putting ourselves, and this is what is called resistance. I don't want to do it, so I'm just very new, I can't do it. But like, honestly, I'm not. I have the authority here to speak about mothers, because I've been working with mothers and children for 20 years. And that's what I'm telling you. 30 years, you're doing it longer than me. So your achievements, doesn't matter, needs to be in newspapers or in pages with millions of likes. It doesn't matter. Your impact has been there, your work has been there, and that's why you're in this book, Francis. Um, you know, this book is becoming real slowly, 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 slowly. And I see almost 100 moms in a Zoom session on 8th of November. I think that's the time, 8th or 9th, I finish my 100 days. What one message you want to give to the future mothers that are coming? Because you're my pill, and I want your message to go there, because you're on the other side. Keep watching these interviews. So next, 70, if my math is okay, how much is 72 more mothers? Yeah,
72.
72 more mothers. What is that one message you want to give them, so that they really get excited? And I get all 72 calls right now after this call saying that we're going to be in. Yeah.
Family. I want people to know the message of family and the importance of that. Family does not have to look one way. It doesn't have to be one description or adjective. It's that word can mean so many different things, just like love can mean so many different things. I have family that that in all different types of groups. I feel like the women that so far they're in the group, they're part of my family. Our coaching group, part of a family, because we support each other. And that's what I want people to know, that family is support, and not only supporting other people, but getting that support back. I think a lot of times we think as long as we're supporting people, we're good. And that is not the case. We need support in return. And that's what makes support and love. And you're not going to always get along with your family, because that would be fantasy, not family, if you think you're going to get along all the time. But knowing that family means that there's support, there's a circle of support. And in that circle, you get it in return. And that's what's important. So that's what I want people to do. When you go out and you look out, look for family. Look for how you can make different units of family. And not all family units will merge together, but that's okay. That's called expanding your knowledge, expanding your world, when you move from one family unit to another. And you don't have to give up one to go to another one. It's you growing, and it's all about growth. Family is growth. And that's what I want women and moms that are going to be a part of this to know, that family is growth, and you make families as you grow.
Yes, and that's what Cynthia is saying, that, oh my gosh, Francis Julia's family doesn't have to look one way. That's so true. Rashmi is saying, Elizabeth is here, exactly, show up. And then Jenny is here. What an incredible testament to be given the role of a godmother, and so inspiring to have adopted. You have given that little voice such a blessing. And this is beautiful, Francis, and you're absolutely my favorite person recently I've met online. And I want your dream to come true. And I am going to come to the question of actually putting your dream in right now and manifest it through this interview and then in the book.
Oh, well, my dream is I've started a family coaching business, because I want to help people with that piece of the family. Because a lot of times what blocks us is our experiences with our families that we grew up with and things like that. So I want to help people to know that those are, we can work through those things, and that we can, and by working through those things, we can then grow. And first, it's okay to focus on yourself. If I had not focused on myself first, I would not have met you. I would have not met Kara. I wouldn't have met all these other wonderful people, because I would have been like, oh, well, I'm not worthy of this. But I am worthy. And I want people to know that you are worthy. You're worth you putting the effort into yourself. I was thinking this morning too about a lot of times when we think other people need to change, sometimes it's not. A lot of times it's not about other people changing, it's how we expect for other people to interact with us. Sometimes it's accepting the fact that this person's not going to change, and that's okay. Then you need to free your mind and move on, because we get stuck a lot of times staying, trying to bring somebody else where we're at. We can't control that person. So I want to work with families, individuals with parenting, to help them start off on the right track, whether they're thinking about having a child or adopting. Let's talk about that. I know that the mistakes I made, I want to help other people try not to make those same mistakes. I thought, oh, no problem with adopting, because I'd worked with families for so long and things like that. No, there's some things that you really need to think about and stuff like that, even beyond what the classes they offer you when you're adopting. So, and then I want to work with current families and parents to help them with communication skills with their child, but not only with their children, but with themselves, being open and honest with themselves. And then, so yeah, there's so much I want to do in helping parents, because I want to create that family, not the way I see family,
Yeah.
but the way they see family, and how that's going to be positive for them. So yeah.
And I think in COVID times, that's even more important right now. You're definitely needed to start stepping up into your life, because a person like you is needed for families at this point in time. I think there's a big confusion happening, that the families that send their children to school, to online class, like, are like shifted to online classes. We're trying to tell our children, no, 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 you lose onto a year if you don't study. Your math is going to go. So there's a big difference with with the adjustment that's happening, and at that time we need to know that maybe the family that existed pre-COVID, which got up in the morning, danced, and sent the school to children, kids to school, and then they waited for them to come, then they went for the football ground. Like, India is still in lockdown and might be coming up again. um, you know this is the second year for my child on online classes. My family system has changed, and I'm still trying to adjust. And I need to know this. I need to know this, that that family is gone at this point in time. I don't know for how long, but that family who sent their child to school happily in the morning has gone. So that entire adjustment needed, and we need support. And even
Yeah.
if the school opens, there will be another family who's sending their children, telling them it's okay if you have to wear a mask, and if you're told, don't feel bad, it's all right, it's for benefit of the society. Then we're going to send them to another one. So the family system will change again. And this is the fear I have as a mother, that my God, I'm only trying to adjust right now to this new family system, because my husband is at home, he's working from home, I'm started to work from home, kids are working online, the younger one is growing up with no social interactions with his
Right.
age group, because I at this age had already started a mom toddler program where I took my older one to mom toddler, and those were the outings I did. I used to sit with him in a coffee shop, he used to interact with people. At coffee shop, people I used to say this, he's my youngest customer, because he was 3 months onwards, and rocking in other people's lap. And now, because of COVID, people don't want to pick the kids. We don't want to give the kids. So, I'm just saying that your family support is needed. We need more family coaches right now, because one, we need to understand today what's happened and adjust to that, and then be prepared to adjust to another one when things get okay, or a new virus comes in, or something else happens. So we need to step in to people like you more. And I think I totally see it like not only a dream of family families. I think you just need to start coaching the coaches who will
Yeah.
multiply, who will multiply to take responsibility to figure out, because the family number is very, very big, Francis. It's such a big number of families. Teenagers are also suffering badly. So we don't need one Francis, we need at least thousands of Francis coming up right now to say, let's have different families. Let's have, like every family is different. Let's develop our own system. The new system is this, and the new, challenge is this. So I feel that your responsibility is even bigger now, of
Yeah.
not only, like I'm dreaming for you right now, that you're actually preparing 1,000 plus coaches across the world to start coaching like you, and to have the heart like yours, to have the patience like yours. That's the dream that'll, like, if even your dream came true, Francis, I'm getting goosebumps. I keep saying that. If your dream came true and we had those 1,000 coaches to help, I will definitely hire one who can closely work with me here. And then I think many families will bless you, and a big impact for future generation will be done. So you have a lot of work to do,
Yeah.
and you know that I am very consistent in pushing and putting and, you know dancing with all of you and your dreams, because I found my mission to do that, to hold your dreams, to hold, make sure that any message comes through, I can give it to you. And we're going to, you say you just want to save families, I am saying I want Francis to make 1,000 more Francis here right now, working from today onwards, so that 1,000 more Francis can save meaningful families across the world.
Yeah. And what something that you said there too is the patience piece to it, understanding that, and this is something I had to work toward. This wasn't something that came to me naturally. Understanding that what works for me does not work for another person, and showing that patience and not reacting, because I was a very reactive person. I had to realize that that was not serving me or anyone else. So just because someone doesn't think the way you do and things like that, just because one parent sends your child to school and another parent doesn't make one parent better or worse than the other. We don't know what situations that those people are going through and what they have to work with to make it work. So that's one of those things of just being very mindful that we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know everything that someone has to deal with, so we need to have patience with ourselves first, because I didn't have patience with myself. So once you have patience within yourself, it's easier to have patience with other people, because if you can perceive, or people can think that you have this patience and things like this with other people, but if you don't have it with yourself, it will show in some way. So and we're all works in progress. No one, if anyone says that they're finished working, you need to run from them, because there's no finish line when it comes to bettering yourself, because like you said, everything changes. 2 years ago, we would have never thought what we're going through now. um, and who knows what 2 months, 2 years ago is going to be like. So you got to be fluid in your choices, and understand that other people have to be fluid in their choices too. So yeah.
And I think that this conviction only becomes stronger of patience when you start meeting more people, because now this is the meeting, right? I'm meeting all of you. I've always been a very social person, but I'm meeting more and more people worldwide. So the patience will only increase when you discuss openly. And I keep telling people, I do not prepare these interviews. Something will come up that will lead me to another thing and another piece. And I never thought I will think that I'm seeing you coaching coaches like 1,000 more Francis right now. Because the more you meet people, the patience will increase, you will start feeling the pain. And I think even more than that, the patience will not come if you keep sitting, have patience, have patience, have patience. It will come when you become passionate, you find a purpose, and then you become patient into that particular direction, because you know what it takes to actually lead this. Go ahead. I mean, I was a patient person always, but I become even more patient because you don't know the stories, you don't know what's happening.
Right.
And believe me, like, I had mentioned yesterday that I'm pulling myself out. I never thought I could do that. I never thought that from this whole thing that like got created. And like I was telling again my husband, I was like, I'm not emotionally attached to this. And he was looking at me, he's like, are you crazy? Day and night talking about it, you're saying you're not emotionally attached. I said, no, because I'm not emotionally attached, because it's not bothering me. Oh, if somebody's getting more attention, or is some mother not, behaving in a certain way, if they're not reaching on time, the Zoom is not working. I'm not emotionally attached to it, because I sit patiently if the Zoom doesn't work, and I'm just like something will work out. If I get emotionally attached, it would become an egocentric thing. It will become as if, oh my God, what about my reputation? Oh, I have started making reputation. I have more community building up. What will happen? What will people think about me? Oh, my son again tapped. I've told him 100 times not to tap in. I will start operating like that. It's only because I'm coming from outside. I'm figuring it out that, you know, I'm not emotionally attached, and my passion is becoming more and more and more in solving this. So it's
I'm
really
gonna I'm gonna be Kara right now. You are emotionally attached. However, it's the male energy versus the female energy. You're not emotionally attached to the control piece.
yeah,
You're emotionally attached to the heart piece. So you know in your heart it's gonna happen. So when the volume doesn't work or this doesn't work, in your heart, you know it's
that's
gonna happen. And then, but if you were with the male energy, it'd be like, okay, I got to get this done, and this doesn't happen, it's all going to fall apart. So you're heart centered right now,
that's true.
and that is why it is all when it's all coming together, because you are emotionally attached, but you are healthy attached with the heart. So
And I
you're
think
not, you
another
know,
word
it's going to all come together. Yeah.
another word came into my mind right now, and of course this is honest conversation. I think I'm emotionally invested in it more than attached. I'm invested emotionally in it. But honestly, I was talking to somebody else yesterday, and I said it really, for me, what matters is the book. It's coming out, it's uplifted people, I'm holding it, and that's it. you know um like, for me, that point when I actually hold the first copy in my hand and I've embraced these 100 women who I found, is the only thing, would be my, like I've got what I wanted from this book. Okay. And for that embracing, I have to do a lot, as I keep mentioning, that I don't want to take sponsors. I don't want any ads to start coming up in my background instead of these beautiful books and my very, very beautiful white curtain that I love. But I don't want anything to come in between. And, so just for me, whatever it will take, I will do it. I am also announcing today that I am going to start the pre-sale. Since morning, I'm thinking high time to start the pre-sale. We are going to come up with that plan to pre-sale, have the pre-sale uh, going in a beautiful way, so that this project itself invests, funds this project, and I don't need any outside help. And then I will try and figure out the system. So there's definitely a pre-sale is happening, and this on the 8th of November. The digital copy is going to be hugged, but very soon, I think, oh, you never know, if the pre-sale goes well and I get the support, maybe I will be holding a hard copy and unveiling it on 8th of November. So thank you, Francis. I'm waiting for 1,000 more Francis to come up in the next few years. And I see Francis standing with those 1,000 Francis saying, go save these families. They're totally going nuts. And thank you, Francis, for being there for
Thank you.
project.
Thank you.
And I love your heart a lot. And thank you for supporting the kids you've supported. And thank you for being you. So we have such a beautiful support. Melanie is also here to join us now. Melanie's here, Rashmi's here, Cynthia's there. So I was just wondering who's going to be chatting up for Francis, and see, the world has said. And Cynthia is such a sweetheart. She's knows my technical ability. She's just sent me a thing saying, tell everybody to put on the live onto their profiles and start putting that. The minute you go live, they will get a notification instantly. So I will try. She's made a little design for me as well to put it. So I'm going to just put that design and request more and more people to start putting that live, so that this project, even through interviews, does make a change that it's
Right.
doing already. Thank you so much, Francis.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will go off live now. Love you guys, and you stay on. Bye bye, people.